what's going on YouTube? This precious metals prices prices.com, and just a little review. The month of December has started. It looked like everything was going to go opposite of what I thought on Monday, and so I just waited to do a review until things kind of settled in. So here we go. Silver dipped below 14 again. Here's a daily chart. Dipped below. Went looks like 6.5 points below 14 again. And what I'm looking at here is a bunch of wicks pointing down. And to me that looks like a bottom. Looks like a bottom. It keeps dipping below 14 and going back up. 14 is holding this thing up pretty well. Don't know what else to say. Only that 14 is looking like a triple bottom here. And on the daily, the more the wicks pointing down, the more of a bottom that it puts in. You can see all the wicks pointing down here, and it goes up. You can look. Let me see if I can just find an example. How the wicks always point in the opposite direction of where it's going. Like here's 3 wicks there. That's a triple bottom. You can see what happened there. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. You know, by all means, I'd love to see silver just start going back up. I want to catch this thing at the bottom so bad. I love silver. That's all I can say. Okay, so on to gold. Still bearish, still doing what it's doing. It fell apart, gathered its legs, and then fell apart again. It's a daily chart, so the monthly candle that it's putting in looks like a bottom, but it's on a tether. I think after this break right here, we're going to see a pretty lengthy downturn in gold, and therefore silver is going to follow. But gold has to break down first, so I think gold for the precious metals is the leading indicator on numerous occasions. So let's go to the stock market equities bug. Is it going to crash? I thought maybe there was a chance that this thing was going to break up today. The monthly candle, let's just go look at that. The monthly candle that is putting in, and then the way it opened, it looked like it was going to continue up. And on the Dow, you can't see it so well. The S&Ps, I'll show you how it looked like it was going to break out. The Dow never reached a level where I thought it was going to break out. It never crossed over it never went higher than the previous high. So that's a first indication that it's a continuation. So it never did that. It opened lower than the previous high, and it kind of hung out for a while, and then it just collapsed. It just gave out. I think today the Dow ended up 160 lower. So yesterday's bull run, trying to break out, just today just gobbled it all back up. So this is bearish. These 2 candles put together are bearish. We'll see where tomorrow's candle opens up. Now you can see how I was talking about the mini reverse head and shoulders top here, where you have the left shoulder, the neck, or the head. Actually, this me just draw this line for everybody. This is actually the neckline. So it never broke above the neckline. So breaking the neckline would have broke the pattern, and all probabilities of it going down would have been negated. Also, there was another instance where it could have whipsawed on the Dow. And you can see on the S&P futures how it actually did whipsaw in today's close. Can't remember. This is a daily chart, I think. Now this is a weekly chart, so let's go to daily and see how it whipsawed. See how that whipsaw came in? We set the trend line. This is another left shoulder, right shoulder. It's completing the right shoulder. Now it wanted to break and it didn't have any juice left. It just kind of really when something breaks out, it kind of reaches a vacuum point and there's nothing holding it back. Well, this kind of broke into new territory and didn't have any legs. So it gave out, broke the previous low on the daily, and here we go. Watch out below. It whipsawed, closed below the previous low. 2 previous lows, 3 previous lows, 4 previous lows, 5 previous lows. This thing is very bearish. S&P futures is bearish by all means. So let's look at the monthly candle that it started. And there we go. My first support would be at 2000 and then to this trend line. So that's where I think it's going to start. So it's not totally bearish until it breaks out of this long trend line that it's made on the monthly chart. So remember that. See, this thing's going to break down. It has to go below this long, what's that, 8-year trend line. Remember I told you that the longer the time frame of the break, the bigger the reaction. So the 8-year trend line break, I would look for some disaster to happen. If that broke down, you're probably looking at 14 first. And to know where it goes after that, I don't know. US dollar, look, poised, really poised for the longest time. It broke the previous high. Okay, first indication that it might just break loose on the upside. And I think that it did go above the higher over here. Yes, it did. By, I think, by a couple points at least. So I thought this thing was going to take off, but it stopped in its tracks and made a reversal below. And look at that. That candle right there on the daily, what the candle did. Anybody, I'm just going to leave it to you guys. If you guys are watching this and you can tell me what that candle is, I will give you nothing but a pat on the back and a high five and a wow, look at that candle. That is a dangerous candle if you know what it is. So tell me what it is. It's not a hard one, but it's dangerous. That is a dangerous looking candle right there on the dollar. Yep. You know what? Forget all that. I just want to show you where I saw it before. Gold, before its longest downturn, look at that candle. Look at that. Same candle. Look how it just dropped out of the sky. That is a falling star. Oh, I just ruined it for everybody. Wow. Sorry about that. I get more sales calls than anything around here. So there you have it. Sorry I ruined it for you, but it's pretty obvious to those who are watching. And this is why I don't use a lot of indicators. This is why I don't use a lot of other things. I had a teacher way back when that taught candles and how to spot these things. I watched this guy trade $100,000 on a minute chart with Google, and just all day long this guy would make money just on the candles. Just on the candles. No indicators, no moving averages. He made sure where the trend is on the long term and just traded the candles. And wow, the candles tell the story. Indicators are only that. They're just indications of probabilities. And that's why I just try to keep it simple. You can make this stuff really complicated, overthink it. But one more chart to look at is crude oil. We're watching this to go to 30. Jim Willey is saying that this is a trigger point for a lot of turmoil, economic turmoil for banks and countries that are hedged against oil. Wow, I'm looking at this real quick here. Let me draw something. Yeah, it broke from a 98 to a 2000, let's call it 2014, 15. Yeah, let's call it 2015. That is 17-year trend line. See that? I mean, this thing is not looking good. And this is what happens when the monetary policymakers create these just horrible bubbles in markets. They do this all the time. I mean, they have ruined the oil market by pumping this thing all the way to 140. Ruined it. And that's what they do to everything. What do you think is going to happen to the dollar? I mean, this thing's been running up for 8 years. You got to be kidding me. Look at that straight line. That's a bubble. I mean, there's no other way to put it. There is another bubble. I mean, since 2008, this thing has gone straight up. I mean, who do these people think they are? They just create one bubble after another. I was in real estate. I was very successful. I lost everything, and it still hasn't recovered. I mean, the banks are holding, 30-40% of all foreclosures off the market? What happens if they unload all those foreclosures on the market? The market's going to tank again. And that's what's going to happen when they raise rates. All the debt is going to have interest rate payments due, and it's just going to ruin everything. They just create one bubble after another, and then this bubble that we're going through right now is a debt bubble. I mean, I'm all for this silver to make a bottom soon, because I want to buy as much as possible. Wow. So that's it. Just wanted to confirm that what we've been talking about, the directions I thought that markets were going, is so far this month, the new candle for this month is cooperating with our plans. Very simply, just using candles and a long-term chart. And So share, like, comment, please. Let me know how I'm doing. See ya. Thank you for watching.